Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at one of the most popular mid-tier travel cards, and that is going to be the American Express Gold Card. Now, in this video, we're going to be breaking down and covering everything you need to know with this card, going over all the pros and cons and benefits that you're going to get with it, and then hopefully that way by the end of this video, you can actually make a decision on whether this card is going to be worth it for you in 2023 or not. Now, it's going to be broken up into 5 different categories going over this card, and the first category we're going to be talking about is going to be sign-up bonuses. Now, typically the most common offer you're going to see with the American Express Gold Card is going to be 60,000 Amex reward membership points after you spend $4,000 within the first 6 months of account opening. Now, if you do a little bit of digging and you go into incognito mode on Google and search around a bit, sometimes you can find an offer of 75,000 points after that $4,000 spend, and as well, if you know someone who has a referral link, you can actually sometimes even get up to 90,000 points for that same 4,000 spend. Now, using those 60,000 points sign-on bonus as an example, those points can be worth around $600 for use in the American Express travel portal, but a little bit later on in the video, we'll talk about how you can actually get a little more value out of those points and use them a little bit more wisely. Now, moving over to the next category, we have the earning rates of this card, and this is where this card becomes very popular and shines a lot, and that's because with the American Express Gold Card, you are going to be getting 4x points back on dining, takeout, and eligible delivery, as well as 4x back on grocery shopping. Now, outside of dining and groceries, this card is going to get you 3x back when you book flights directly through the airline or through the Amex travel portal, and then it's going to get you a flat 1x back on everything else. Now, while this card isn't going to earn you the best outside of those categories with only earning 1x back on all other purchases, where this card is going to shine is obviously going to be in that dining and grocery store category. Since food is going to be in the top 3 categories where people tend to spend the most money, coming in right after housing and transportation, then I definitely do think earning 4x back on those categories is not only a big plus for myself and for many others, but why this card attracts so many individuals and why it is such a popular card amongst so many people. Now, next up, we're going to talk about the value of this card and what those points that you're earning and that sign-up bonus can actually get you. So with all the American Express membership rewards points that you're going to be earning, you have a few different ways to select on how you actually use those points, and we'll talk about that right now. Now, the first way you can use those points is with select online retailers. When you're checking out, some of those retailers actually have the option to pay with Amex points, and if you choose to use this method, you're going to be getting around 0.5 cents to 0.7 cents value on those American Express points. The next option you have is going to be redeeming those points for gift cards, and by doing this method, you'll receive anywhere between half a cent per point and all the way up to 1 cent per point for those gift card redemptions, just depending on what gift card you choose and things like that. The next option you have is going to be redeeming those points for a statement credit. Now, this tends to be the option I would avoid the most, as it tends to be the lowest value for those points. If you were to redeem those points for a statement credit to just cover some of your bill or some of your previous purchases, you're only going to be getting about 0.5 cents to 0.6 cents per point, so definitely not the best value there, and we can definitely do better with those points. And lastly, we have my 2 personal favorite methods, and the 2 methods that I would always recommend you use when you redeem those Amex points to get the best value for them. Now, the first one is going to be through the Amex travel portal. If you use those points through the Amex travel portal to book travel, so if you were to use those American Express points for travel through the Amex travel portal, you'll get about 1 cent per point for flights and about 0.5 cents to 0.7 cents for hotels or stays. So using those 60,000 bonus points that you're going to get, those points can be worth around $600 for flight purchases in that travel portal, or around $300 when you're looking at purchasing hotels or different stays and things like that. And last up, we have my preferred method of using American Express points, and that's going to be transferring them out to a eligible travel partner. Now, Amex does have a few different travel partners that I'll put up on the screen so you can see those now, but by doing this, American Express allows you you to transfer those points out at a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning with those points, in a lot of cases, you can get more value by doing this. On the low end, you'll typically get around 1 cent per point when you transfer them out to a partner. And sometimes if you're looking at business class international flights, you can get around 1.5 cents. And I've even seen upwards of 2 cents valuation on those points. Definitely a better value on those points. Now, there are certain exceptions to this worth mentioning, and one of those is going to be Hilton. So if you are someone who stays at a lot of Hilton properties or anything of that nature, American Express will actually give you 2,000 Hilton points for every 1,000 American Express points. So when you transfer them over to Hilton Honors, you're actually getting about double value, and those 60,000 American Express points are going to turn into about 120,000 Hilton Honors points. Now, however, if you do just want to keep things simple and use those points through the Amex travel portal so you don't have to worry about transferring them out to a travel partner and going through that process, then I would definitely recommend you use them through the Amex travel portal for flights. And by doing it that way, you're still getting about 1 cent per point, and you're getting good value on those points and maximizing what you can actually get with them. Next up, let's talk about the rewards and benefits that you get with this card, as well as some of the credits that this card comes with. So starting off with credits, this card does come with 2 main credits that are going to help you offset the annual fee of $250 that this card comes with. And those are going to be 2 monthly statement credits in the form of $10 each, totaling up to $240 per year. Now, the first credit you're going to get is going to be a $10 monthly Uber credit that'll be deposited into your Uber account when you link your Gold Card to that account. And this can be used for either Uber Rides or Uber Eats, and that can be delivery or pickup when you're using the Uber Eats portion of it. Next up, you have a $10 monthly dining credit that you'll receive when you dine at Cheesecake Factory, select Shake Shack locations, select Milk Bar locations, as well as using Grubhub. And by doing that and using your Gold Card for any one of those, you'll also get that $10 monthly dining credit. Now, the only unfortunate thing with these credits is that they are going to be use it or lose it credits, meaning that you can't roll them over into the next month and that you have to use them each month, or else you're going to lose them for that particular month. And so that means that if you were to use both of these credits on a month-to-month basis, you're going to be getting about $240 of value out of those, meaning that you're able to offset that annual fee of $250 and effectively making the annual fee of this card only $10 per year. Now, with this card, American Express does give you one more credit. That's going to be a $100 resort and hotel credit when you book 2 consecutive nights at any one of American Express's fine resort or hotel locations. And by doing that, you'll get a $100 credit that can be used for things like dining, spas, and things like that, as well as sometimes, based on availability, you might even get a room upgrade for booking your stay with that American Express Gold Card. On to some of the really cool benefits that this card gets you and some of the benefits that I enjoy personally. With this card, you get things like trip delay insurance, baggage insurance, you get rental car insurance and coverage when you book rental cars with your Gold Card. You also get 90-day return protection, so that'll protect your product that you buy with your American Express Gold Card for theft and damage within the first 90 days. And you also get extended warranty coverage with this card, so that adds about a 1-year extra warranty onto the manufacturer's warranty of anything that you're purchasing. Now that we've covered all the other stuff that you get with this card, the sign-on bonuses, earnings of this card, and the value that you'll get with it, let's talk about some of the pros and cons of this card. Now, the first con that I have with this card is going to be the dining credit. I do wish that the dining credit was available for use at a few more locations and things like that. So like we mentioned earlier, it is going to be available if you dine at Cheesecake, select Shake Shack locations, and use Grubhub. But depending on your lifestyle, I know me personally, I don't go to a lot of those places on a monthly basis or use Grubhub a ton. And so just depending on your lifestyle, that may be a credit that is a little bit harder to use. So for my first con, I just wish that that credit for the dining was a little bit easier to use. And for the second con that I have with this card, that's going to be that outside of those categories that we talked about earlier, you're only earning 1x back on everything else. And so if you were to compare it to something like a Chase Freedom Unlimited, where you're earning 1.5% 1.5% back on everything, or a City Double Cash where you're earning 2% on everything, then it is a little bit lower on the spectrum. And I would like to see American Express maybe in the future increase this to maybe 1.5% back on everything else, just to kind of add some competition to some of the other card issuers into the mix. Now that's going to lead me into the first pro of this card that I have, and that's going to be that you're earning 4x back on groceries and dining. And so like we talked about earlier, food is going to be one of the highest spending categories that we have as people. I know that me personally, I tend to spend quite a bit of money each month on food and dining. So for me, and I believe for a lot of others, you're definitely going to be able to benefit from that 4x back, and it's going to be very beneficial for you to have in your wallet. Next pro that I have with this card is some of the really amazing benefits that you get with it. Some of my personal favorites are the trip delay and baggage insurance, the automatic rental car coverage, so you don't have to worry about paying those rental car companies for their insurance, as well as that purchase protection that you get with this card, just giving you a extra peace of mind that if something was to happen with something that you purchased online, maybe it got lost in shipping or whatever the case may be, that American Express is there to cover you in the event of something like that. As well as, I know we mentioned earlier that the dining credit could be a little bit easier to use, but I still do believe that as a whole, the 2 credits that American Express gives you, they make it pretty easy to actually use those credits on a month-to-month basis. And by using both of those credits, you're going to be getting $240 in value each year. And by doing that, you're going to be able to offset the annual fee of this card, effectively only making it a $10 annual fee each year. Another thing I do want to mention really quickly is earlier we talked about how you get a $100 hotel credit for the Fine Hotel and Resorts collection. However, I tend to not count that for a lot of people, or for most people, and that's simply because with the American Express Fine Resorts and Hotel collection, what you're going to notice is a lot of these places are going to be definitely on the higher end, anywhere between $500 to $800 a night. And for a lot of people, myself included, we're just not staying at those types of places on a consistent basis. And so that credit is one that I could kind of take or leave for myself personally. For the last pro of this card, that's going to be American Express's customer support. So American Express's customer support is second to none. They've always been super excellent and very amazing in handling anything that I've brought to their attention in the past. And I know that if any of you have any American Express cards currently, then you can definitely relate and can definitely attest to the fact that American Express's customer support is absolutely phenomenal, and that's why it's going to round off the pro section that I have for this card. And so to summarize everything up, I definitely think that anybody can benefit from having this card, with not only earning that 4x back on your dining and grocery store purchases, as well as having simple, easy to use credits that you can use to offset that annual fee, and having some really nice benefits and perks that come with this card. For me, it makes it a no-brainer to have in my wallet, and a no-brainer for anyone to have in their wallet for 2023. But I am curious to know, what do you guys think of the American Express Gold Card for 2023? Is it a card that you already have, or is it a card that you're looking at? And do you think that everything that it comes with justifies the $250 annual fee? Definitely let me know by dropping a comment down below, as well as letting me know some of your other favorite cards that are on the market right now, and I would definitely love to hear from you about that. If you did enjoy this video and found it informative, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a like down below, as it helps me out and the channel out tremendously. And if you're interested in more videos just like this, where I cover other credit card and personal finance tips, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new video. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking some time out of your day to view my video, and I hope each and every one of you have a fantastic rest of your day.